Alright guys, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this successfully because as we know, this is a massive undertaking that no one's ever done on YouTube before, period. Beating every Pokemon game with just Magikarp. And not only am I going to beat them with just Magikarp, but I'm also not going to level up Magikarp or use any items. In fact, I'm also going to play blindfolded and without fingers this time around. I felt like that was the only appropriate way to tackle this. I feel like it shouldn't take too long to beat each game. Maybe a grand total of like 10 minutes, 1 minute for each game, maybe a full 2 minutes for Sword and Shield, because as we know, Pokemon Sword has so much more content than every other Pokemon game by like a landslide. I mean, there are so many Pokemon to catch in Pokemon Sword, god damn it. Pokemon Sword might take longer because of that reason alone. Aside from that, I'm really glad they kept Magikarp in Pokemon Sword, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to make this video where I beat the entire Pokemon franchise with just Magikarp. I was worried that there was going to be like a Galarian form Magikarp, finding a way to make it more useless, and I don't know, it'll look like Sakura from Naruto or something. Man, that would be really terrifying, Galarian Magikarp. But at least the hentai won't be as weird if that was the case. Because yes, while researching exactly how I would go about maniacally destroying every single game with just Magikarp, by total coincidence, man, there's a lot of Magikarp gentai. I would have never seen that one coming. Get it? Never seen it coming? Alright, enough wasting time. We have a lot of games to beat. We don't have a lot of time. We're going to be doing an extremely fast version here, cut and edited so perfectly. It's not like a completely copy and pasted entire massively long Twitch videos to just get oodles and oodles of watch time. No, that's not my goal here at all. This is exclusive YouTube content that's not recycled, not killing two birds with one stone, just streaming on Twitch and then just uploading it to YouTube. And the chances of success are so low, but I had to crunch the numbers a hell of a lot to properly find out the exact way to tackle this. Again, I felt like since I'm a Pokemon master, it would be a bit too easy to play the games straightforward with a Magikarp, because as we know, Magikarp in the hands of a Nuxanor is extremely powerful and dangerous. So I felt like it would only be appropriate if not only am I going to be beating every single Pokemon game with only a Magikarp without using items while blindfolded and without fingers, but also, that's right, you're not going to believe it, I'm going to be speed running it. Yeah, you heard right. You thought that I was going to take like a loser amount of times, like, I don't know, 10 hours on a Pokemon game? No way. Watch me beat all of Pokemon with just Magikarp, blindfolded, without fingers, without using items, without taking more than 30 minutes per game, edited beautifully together into this one video that, as I mentioned, is not just recycling a boring format off Twitch for extra content with lots of watch time. This is a challenge I don't think I'm going to actually be able to accomplish, but who knows, guys? No one's ever tried this before. I feel like this is a very original idea, and I'm excited to see exactly how far we can push this. So now, if you're a longtime fan of my channel, then this past 3-minute intro was probably one of the most fun you've ever had watching a YouTube video ever, because if you're a fan of Lord Nuxanor and you understand the true trolliness that I may or may not implement to my channel on a semi-regular basis, you realize that the first 3 minutes of this video was entirely satire. That is correct. If you didn't notice it, well, honestly, I highly suggest you rewatch it, because everything I said was literally poking jabs at someone. Just curious if you'd be able to pick up on that now that I mentioned it to you. Well, if you did rewatch it and you're back now, or if you just noticed it originally because, well, I'm so honored. You have such faith in me that I'm not going to actually make a conventional video that people would actually make before. No. You're not going to see a video on this channel that's like literally a copy paste of what someone else does. Not without the Nux style twist. Today, I want to talk about the vast world of Pokemon, and this title and thumbnail is 100% accurate to exactly what I'm trying to get across here. As someone that grew up on the Pokemon games and a huge fan of the medium, the games, as the years have gone by, are, let's call a spade, they're getting easier for me, okay? I know type advantages. I actually know how to battle, not like the stupid AI you're up against in the Pokemon games. I've played professionally, so I'm against opponents who actually know how to think, as opposed to people that are like, oh, yeah, that's right, I'm gonna use Growl on your Pokemon even though your Pokemon only uses special attack moves. I see you, Pokemon AI. More like AU for artificial and unintelligent self 5. Hell yeah! That joke wasn't even funny. I got way too much of a kick out of it, not gonna lie. I do sort of regret that. It's a little embarrassing. But moving on, because I'm excited to do this. That's right, Pokemon games, freaking easy for an absolute mad lad at the Pokemon format like I am. When I was a kid, it was not so easy. I actually needed to grind in certain scenarios, needed to develop the ultimate perfect team in order to take out my adversaries. But let's call a spade a spade. If you pick a starter Pokemon, you can literally go through the entire game without grinding at all. The experience you get from the trainers you go up against will get your Pokemon to like 10 levels higher than every single gym you fight, since you're only using one Pokemon, and you'll proceed to be able to blitz the entire game with that alone. Let's call a spade a spade. That's the reality of the situation. So of course, the wonderful Pokemon community on YouTube, and I'm not saying that in a sarcastic way, I don't know a lot of the Pokemon community per se, and the people I've met are pretty good so far. I mean, I've met Loxton, who I love, Birdkeeper Toby, who's a great dude, and Hoodlum Callum, who I need to get to know a little better because he seems pretty chill too, and all three of them are pretty dope. So, based on that extremely narrow-minded understanding of the Pokemon community, I can say wholeheartedly that, well, being that they're a community, there's definitely toxicity lurking around some corner, but I'm not gonna be the one to point my finger at what it is, even though I know what it is. Maybe another time. But in the lovely Pokemon community, the idea of playing games with different challenges to amp up the difficulty is second nature. Everyone's doing randomized Nuzlocke shiny hunting adventures in order to make the game not that generic, boring experience we've all gone through blitzing a game for like the 1000th time. If you keep coming up with new rules and scenarios to make the games trickier, well, that's a lot of fun. It makes the games more challenging. Every experience is a new one. I already know the storyline of all the Pokemon games, and I can beat it basically with my eyes closed. So what's the fun in playing it again? Well, if it was a challenge. Then Nuzlocks were created. You know, you can't level your Pokemon to higher levels than the levels of the gyms. You can only catch one Pokemon per route. If a Pokemon dies in the game, he dies in real life. Oh, sorry, that's Sword Art Online, and literally every other trapped in a game dystopia. But then that morphed into something different. The challenges when it came to Nuzlocks, they also got, well, semi-stale. So let me introduce you to something that this video is really targeting. And if you are completely unfamiliar with the Pokemon community, well then, the first 3 minutes may not have been as hilarious to you as I would like to presume that they would have been to other people, because I found them so funny to write. Epic challenges. Now, I'm not gonna call out anyone in specific here, but that said and done, the games didn't just become a new fun way to do it. It became this whole interesting alternate way of glancing at things like, wait a second, is it even possible to beat an entire game with just Magikarp? And the answer they found that is yes, because everyone has tried that. So, I mean, I'm just gonna be telling you basic math here, but if you could beat an entire game with just Magikarp, well then wouldn't it be obvious that you could beat individual battles with just Magikarp? Well, that won't stop anyone from trying. Watch me beat the Elite Four with just Magikarp. Watch me beat the champion with just Magikarp. Watch me beat insert random opponent of variable difficulty with just Magikarp. If you can beat the game, you can beat everyone, but that's not gonna stop people from being like, all right guys, this is like the biggest challenge I've ever done. I mean, I don't think that I'm even gonna be able to do this one this time. I think I've gone a little bit too far. Am I gonna be able to pull this off? Short answer, yes I am. Long answer, here's a 40-minute video that I posted directly from my Twitch stream. Now, some of the challenges are very unique and very interesting, and I enjoyed them a lot. There's this one guy, I forget who, but I will link him in the description, who did a playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red blindfolded, only reading the chat. That was fun AF! Because it was original and we didn't exactly know what was going to occur. But since Sword and Shield came out, it was like hunting season for these epic challenges that we don't know the result for. Can you beat Sword and Shield with only Sobble? Well, I don't know. Can you beat Emerald with only Mudkip? Can you beat Fire Red with only Voltorb? Oh, and even if you can, the next challenge coming up is, can you beat Fire Red with only electric type Pokemon? Well, if you can do it with only Voltorb, you can probably do it with only electric type. Can you beat Pokemon without using the Pokemon Center? Or without items? I've yet to see anyone trying beating Pokemon without items or the Pokemon Center, but I imagine that would at least be a little more challenging, and someone's definitely bound to it. Just typing "can you beat Pokemon" into your YouTube search bar, the results are: can you beat Pokemon Emerald with only a Mudkip? Can you beat Pokemon Red with a Magikarp? Can you beat Pokemon Emerald without healing? Can you beat Pokemon Platinum with only your starter? Can you beat Pokemon Emerald with only Ralts? Can you beat Pokemon Red with only only Ditto? Can you beat Pokemon Red with only blank? And then just a bunch of blanks to follow. Point is, all these things were done. There are some channels that thrive on this shiz. Not saying it's bad, it could very much be enjoyable, but the fact that I see people be like, alright guys, I don't know what's gonna happen with this one. I would be very surprised if I'm actually able to pull this off. I was thinking beating Fire Red, but only using legendary Pokemon once I catch them. Beating Pokemon Hot Pink and Turquoise without taking any damage. Can you beat Pokemon with only traded Pokemon? With just a Weedle, without healing at Pokemon centers. Using Missingo, with no new moves. Using only Pikachu, with only a Charmander. Can you beat Pokemon with only mirroring your rival's team? Or with only an Aerodactyl, or with only the weakest Pokemon? Or in a single try? Or with only a Zubat, a Magikarp, a Ghastly, a Flareon? These are all videos that are out there. And I'm not saying that any individually are bad, because I will not say that I watched all of them. I obviously haven't. But not only are they getting very nice views, so honestly, challenge videos like that, hell yeah, I'm all for it. Just one tiny favor that I'm asking. Don't make believe it's the biggest challenge ever. No one ever thought of something like this, and I think that I'm not actually going to be able to do it. Get ready to get your mind blown right out your ass. If your Pokemon's enough levels higher than what you're fighting, you can beat it with literally anything. This was proven by the guy that beat it with a Magikarp, and the other guy that beat it with a Zubat, and the other guy that beat it with a Jigglypuff. Yes items, no items. With only my left hand. Can I beat Pokemon by controlling with my feet? All these mind-numbingly brilliant challenges purely devised for the sake of giving the audience an adrenaline boost, because if someone's making a video like that, well, they're gonna definitely win. It's not like, can you beat Pokemon with only using a tortilla chip? Oh no! After a 45-minute video, turns out we cannot beat Pokemon only using a tortilla chip. No! Whenever someone makes a challenge like this, they're gonna goddamn win, and they're gonna goddamn win by a decent margin. You could train your Pokemon to whatever goddamn level you want, and since the Elite Four generally caps at like level 60, you're gonna annihilate them with your epic stat Magikarp that you've been training ever since you bought it for 500 Poké-dollars. And that's that. Now, even though I'm clowning about this, and honestly I'm having way too good of a time making fun of this trend, because making fun of trends just makes me feel alive somehow, I have to say, to all of you that are like, no, the beauty of these challenges is that it very much emulates the spirit of Pokemon, because it's about the adventure, not the destination. It's about seeing how we overcome our obstacles that we've overcome many times in the past with actual teams that function properly as the game desired. And it's not about the destination. Of course we know you're gonna win. If I'm gonna watch a 45-minute video about a guy beating Pokemon Red and Blue with only controlling his character with his nose, I very well goddamn better see him win. But it's about the adventure there. And now, I agree and disagree to this to some extent. I agree that very well the challenge is made fun as far as the actual mechanics of the game. That I fully understand. But making believe that you don't know if a challenge is gonna be doable when the challenge is very well goddamn doable, that's where I say this could be made a meme. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, because this video is just created purely to make it a meme. If you want to keep doing that, or if you enjoy watching those, honestly, all the power to you. Some I find very interesting. When someone like Jaden Animations does a Nuzlocke, I very much enjoy it because I enjoy Jaden Animations' personality and how she tells a story. Poketips, for example, does it in a much more informative way, actually trying things that, well, you didn't know were possible necessarily before he showed up, until he decided to beat the Galar champion with a Magikarp, which we've all seen against literally every previous champion and game. But in the most part, mad respect to Poketips. That guy's great too. But when people see that the formula's working and they just decide, let's crank out millions of these challenges that we don't know if we're gonna win, well, this meme is meant for them. I do not hate you. I appreciate you. There is an occasional gem within these videos, like playing it blindfolded and needing to guess which Pokemon the opponent is using based on the cry of that Pokemon. You know, well, obviously that cry was a Slowking. And yes, I know that I get billions of requests to do that 151 Pokemon cry video that I promised a long time ago that I would not do. But, well, I'm a gambling man. I'm okay to take a chance. A risk. Let's make this much more interesting. Now, being that that is a video that I very much do not want to do, since my voice is still recovering from my cold as is, and I don't really want to go through, you know, making 151 Pokemon cries to copy the 151 Pokemon. Yeah, this is traumatizing me just to think about. I already told you, if you can get a video to 100,000 likes, only if it is a video that I let you know in advance. So don't be like, oh, we got this previous Gentai video that you never made to 100,000 likes. No! If you get this video to 100,000 likes, which is a like goal that I've only made twice in the past, I do not expect you to pass, then I will make the 151 Pokemon Cry video. So now the ball is in your court. Feel free to share around. Feel free to show people this lovely, upbeat, happy take on the lovely YouTube environment we live in with these epic challenges that I still don't know if they could be beaten by mundane mortals. Smash like on the video because, well, 100,000, I will be doing that Pokemon Cry video, and I don't think you're gonna get 100,000 likes. So I'm still kind of happy, content. But if this thing gets to like 90,000 likes, I'm gonna start sweating my balls off. So with that said, let's wrap it up here. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Smash subscribe if you want future content memeing about the internet in any way or form I see fit. Taking down communities. No, this literally is not an exposed video, and I don't believe in them, and I don't make exposed videos unless we're talking about Mad Pat, which we're not talking about, but for the sake of memes and memeing on topics that I feel like deserve to be memed about that no one else has done. Leave a subscribe, smash that bell, 100,000 likes, and you get 151 Pokemon Cries from good old Lord Nuxanor. Share it around. Link to my Twitter and Twitch and all that stuff in the description. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening, and remember to stay weird, fam. And before the epic outro, I just wanted to ask you guys a question because I honestly don't know what the answer is. Do you think it's possible to beat Pokemon Red while playing Fortnite? I don't know. Someone definitely has to try this and get back to me. Johnny!